Hey guys, it's Fletch. This is the 20-ton log splitter that I've done a review on the channel, and yeah, nice little backdrop there with the trash trailer, huh? But anyways, this is the 20-ton wood splitter that we did a review on the channel. It's still going strong, no problems, no issues, and yes, I would definitely buy it again if I needed a wood splitter. And here's the table that you saw me make on the channel here. And my garage is kind of a disaster area right now. It's the week after Thanksgiving, and yeah, I got to get out here and finish straightening this up. But there's the table. I wouldn't make anything differently on that than what I did either. It's still rock solid, and yeah. But you know how YouTube is. If you want someone to tell you you made something wrong, just tell someone how you did it on YouTube. And but yeah, it was like whatever you do, it's like on this particular one, it was, oh no, you overbuilt it. It's way too much. But again, the purpose of building it the way that I did is because I knew I was going to be holding so much weight on it. All these boxes underneath here are reloading supplies, and you know, there's literally hundreds, if not thousands of pounds of weight that's on that table between the stuff that's on the top and the stuff that's down on the shelf. And yes, I'm still a huge fan of the Cobalt 24 volt cordless tools. As you can see, I got a plane over there now, a new light, several more chargers. And I think I counted the other day, I probably have around 20 of them. They're not all here right now. And yes, again, I realize it's kind of a jumbled mess, but yeah, those tools are still great. The batteries are great. You know, are they Milwaukee quality? Yeah, probably not. But then again, you're not paying the same price for them either. The Harbor Freight cement mixer there, so far that's been a good investment. I actually had that for many years, and it was just in a box until I made some volleyball net for the kids, and so we got that all set up for them. Really like that. That's good money spent. All right, and what we're looking at right here, this is the Harbor Freight 29-gallon compressor. My old compressor crapped out. We ended up having to invest in a new compressor, so there's the new compressor. So far that's a thumbs up as well, and for whatever it's worth, until the new compressor technology has been out long enough, just for me personally, I wouldn't invest in one of those. You know, this has got the the old-fashioned pump head on this side and your motor on the other, and then your pulleys are on the back side there behind the cage. But they're on sale right now for about $400 at Harbor Freight. Don't see how you could go wrong there. And then we also have one of the smaller, oops, the gimbal's freaking out on me, man. The Harbor Freight, this is a knockoff of the Cal Air design. What's that called, the Fortress or something like that, the Fortress. And that's a great little compressor for doing trim work around the house and stuff like that, because I really didn't want to have to be taking this compressor out into the house unless it's something I just have to do. I'm gonna have to do some repairs on the roof in one of the rooms in the house, and I'll have to haul it in for that because I got to put new acoustic ceiling on, or popcorn ceiling, or whatever you want to call it. And that's just easier than trying to take it all off and redo it that way as well. All right, and here's the clothesline that we built on the channel as well. As you can see, it's looking a little weathered and not quite as nice as it used to look, but it's actually holding up fairly well. It is, however, as you can see, like right here, it does have the starts of some rust and corrosion, especially up here. So just something to think about with this build. you know, the wood and everything probably last, you know, as long as you're at your house, but you know, that wire you may need or want to do a little differently. But I would also assume too, I could probably take a wire wheel, a brush or something, and get all that rust off there and spray it with some WD-40 or something, and it would you know, prevent the rust from coming back quite as quickly and deteriorating over time. And as you can see, it is now fall, and the trees no longer have any leaves or very little leaves on them, leaves all over the ground. But you know, still going strong, still doing the old homesteading thing. And while we're talking about that, let's go over and take a look at this shed that we built on the channel as well, give you an update on that. And just like I was talking about with the bench, this was just the opposite. This was people telling me that, oh, you underbuilt it. It's gonna fall apart. People are gonna get hurt. People are gonna die because you didn't build it the way that I would have done it. But needless to say, before we get there, the shed is in, the foundation of it anyways, is in perfect shape. No issues. Several people said, hey, you're gonna have mold growing on it, because no, there's no mold on it. And let's see here, walk around. We got a little bit of storage crap here. But one thing we do have, just like with everything else in the south, on the north side, there is some algae type stuff growing on it, things like that. But the foundation of the shed itself is still rock solid, still in great shape. Here's our planter box that you saw us build on the channel as well. And as you can see, it is very well overgrown right now. Once, you know, late summer comes, it's usually a little too hot around here to have a real growing season, unless you want to just, you know, water it twice a day or something like that, which we're not really into. So but anyways, you know, it's held up well. Again, the sides were made out of rough cut cedar on my neighbor's lumber mill, and that's a redbud tree. If I can get my camera to focus the correct way, there we go. The redbud tree, and you know, it's really taken off since it's been in there. Probably gonna have to relocate it because it's grown so much so fast. But pretty much all we grow in this really anymore is shoot, what do you call that plant with the spears? Here's another little project I've been working on. This is just a little single axle trailer that a lifelong friend of mine where I grew up gave to me, and just trying to save it. The wood had completely rotted out. It was made probably, I don't know, 20 or 30 years ago with marine plywood or treated plywood, and it lasted for quite a while. But as you can see, it's all rusted out underneath, and so I'm in the process right now of getting that taken care of. And it's also part of the reason why we got the new air compressor, so that we can just sandblast it real quick and then wash and dry it and repaint it before we put the new boards back on. We already have the boards in the garage and everything. It's just a matter of making the time to get it done. But that's been kind of a fun project so far. Here's another fun little project we did this year. We put in a new wood burning stove. As you can see, this is not the one that we restored on the channel, but it's installed in the exact same place that it was before. And being a disabled veteran with a bad back, I really like that this stove is probably the top of the stove there is about 4.5, almost 5 feet tall. Well, 4 feet anyways, for sure. And so part of that process was we had to build this stand for the stove to sit on, so that we could put leveler legs on it. And you know, because of the natural cement product that's on there, they're not actual stones, but it is real, you know, cement. So it is a very sturdy, robust. And actually, I got this stove at Lowe's, and I think I got it with all my discounts and everything for like 620 bucks or something like that. I think you're going for about 800 now, but that's still in my opinion, that's still a great deal. This is an EPA certified stove that has, you know, the wood gas reburner tubes on the top. So, you know, it's completely EPA approved. So far, it's been a great stove. We've used it for about a week straight or so, and it's done a great job for us. It burns a lot less wood than the old stove, that's for sure. Okay, and here's another fun little change. We made the change or the transition to iMac, a newer M1 iMac, and that's the old laptop that I used to use to make videos on. I still use it occasionally, but learning how to do everything on iMac or the Mac platform and with Final Cut Pro. All right, and here's a nice fun little tool as well, the Harbor Freight Titanium 170. I think it can weld up to 1/4-inch steel or something like that. If you want to do anything bigger than that, you should probably go up to the titanium. I don't remember if it's 190 or 200. I think it's 200, but this is like, you know, the second highest, and this is what I use to make the stand. I couldn't think of the word I wanted to use. The self-leveling stand with, you know, with the levelers on it. I made it all with this, and actually it was a lot of fun. I hadn't actually welded since high school, but you know, I bought some blanks, or coupons as they like to call them, and did some test welds and everything, and you know, put them in a vise, and then used an adjustable wrench, you know, bent them over and everything, made sure that I was getting the proper penetration and everything out of my welds. But so far, this has been a very nice, very easy to use welder, and so far anyways, I'd say, yeah, this is good to go. And yes, I still have the three-legged ladder. I know some people probably thought that maybe, you know, that was like a promotional video or something. No, guys, I don't do stuff like that. And if I do, I tell you ahead of time. But, you know, that's actual ladder that I own, the three-legged ladder. I wouldn't own any other kind of ladder unless it was some type of special use ladder that I just really had to have or needed for a special purpose. All right, and here's the World Lawn. We've had this for many years now. This is one of the first reviews that I did after we actually got here in the Ozarks. And this has been a great mower. Can't complain, you know, nothing more than, you know, just regular normal wear and tear items. You know, as I said in that original video, there's really not a lot that differentiates one of these mowers from someone else, because all your mower manufacturer is really making is the platform, the technology for the mowing deck and the pulleys and spindles and all that, as well as the gears in the back and the engine are pretty much standardized across the board anymore. And so really all you're getting is the warranty that goes with this, and you know, never had any problems or issues there. Like I said, you know, other than normal wear and tear items, I haven't had any issues with this. One thing that did happen, and I'll show you real quick. Okay, so what we're looking at right here is this is underneath the seat. There's the battery. And right over here is the two-way strut that provides resistance for your control handles on a ZTR. And that two-way strut, and I say two-way because it is indeed a two-way strut. And yes, that is important because you can't just buy a one-way strut like a generic one and try to replace it. It won't work right. Ask me how I know. But anyways, the first time one of those broke, you know, just from normal wear and tear, Actually, they did cover it under warranty because it was within the time period, or at least my dealer did. You know, I wasn't charged for it, so very happy about that. And other than that, you know, that's the only major thing that's happened, other than, I said, like normal wear and tear things. I think I also broke a spindle at some point, but again, that was my fault. I hit a stump that was, you know, covered up in vegetation, an area that I wasn't really familiar with. And so, yeah, anyways, that, you know, that's not its fault, that's my fault. But, you know, that was an easy enough repair to do as well. All right, the Craftsman vacuum still going strong. No problems, no issues. And that's something that I would recommend. Here's another nice little fun project we've been attempting to do. We wanted to do container gardening to get it elevated. Like I said, you know, having a bad back, it's really hard to weed and do stuff like that. So we bought 4 of these tanks, and unfortunately, with all of the COVID shutdowns and everything like that, I've had a really hard time finding a way to get the rock that I want and need to line the bottom of those, because I want to have good drainage. And yes, I understand the whole hugelkultur thing with putting sticks and stuff in the bottom, but I still want a layer of, you know, pretty good sized rocks down in the bottom so that my drain plug doesn't get clogged up with debris. And no, I'm not going to drill holes in the bottom of them and ruin them, because if ever need be, I can use those or sell them as actual stock tanks instead of, you know, completely ruining them. Because I watched some YouTube video of someone that didn't think things through very well and drilled holes all over the bottom of it and completely ruined a perfectly good feeding trough, when, you know, they could do it differently and not completely ruin the product for another use later on. And as we're walking over to look at the play set, the Echo chainsaw that I reviewed on the channel here, that's still doing really well. No problems or issues with that, you know, other than just normal wear and tear. You know, you need to buy new chains occasionally, and, you know, different things like that. Playset's still holding up well. Thank you to who gave us the, you know, the basics for that. And, you know, you saw the channel, I just rebuilt it, you know, a little bit here, a little bit there, but, you know, still all the connectors and the basics of it were solid, and so it's worked out really well for us. Thank you.